Hi. Um, I've been working on unblocking my solar plexus chakra, and it's been pretty intense. So, um, yeah, I used to think that I didn't feel anger or jealousy, but I was always dealing with very angry, sometimes even explosive people, especially men. And I was on the other end of a lot of jealousy from women in particular, and men too, um, for whatever reason. And I guess it's kind of like the uh, like victim abuser thing, where like they're both giving out the same kind of energy, but one like takes it and puts it inward, and then the other puts it out. So, yeah, so what I did was I wrote down some things that happened in my childhood that I guess I thought that I should have felt more angry about. And I thought I already forgave these people for what happened. Like, I thought I had let it go. Um, and then I just kind of stared at what I wrote down and let the memories come back. And before I knew it, I was filled with so much anger. And I found a healthy way to express it, which was just straight up yelling, screaming. My voice might be a little hoarse. And then underneath that, there was just so much pain, and I had to realize that I let these, like when I was a kid, it wasn't safe for me to have willpower or to have to respond the way that I wanted to. I knew like I had to protect myself. And so I let people do certain things to me that, you know, I didn't want to happen. And I had to forgive myself. I say I had, but that's just habit. But I forgave myself for having to protect myself. And then for the rest of the day, it was so easy to pick up on what was making me angry. And yeah, it's just a huge difference from going from, I wonder why I don't get angry the same way I see a lot of other people do, to, wow, that actually made me angry. And not just that, but I can actually use my willpower to set boundaries. And another thing that happened was I felt pretty intense jealousy yesterday, which kind of caught me by a complete surprise. Yeah, there's this other woman who her life just seems to be going super well, and she has these amazing, beautiful creations, and she's just working so hard all the time, and she has all of these creations to represent her hard work, and I felt so much desire to create my own things and just felt so jealous. And wow, that gave me so much more compassion for um, the people that were very jealous of me, because I realized that the reason why I wasn't creating is because I was afraid to use my willpower. Because, growing up, I didn't in order to keep myself alive. And yeah, just, and that feeling compassion doesn't mean letting people walk all over you either, but just processing, digging up all these super old emotions made me so much more compassionate. And I've been trying to channel forgiveness for this lunar cycle, and this has just been so huge in being able to forgive. I thought I was forgiving, I was writing down, I forgive this person because they're teaching me this lesson, or they taught me this lesson. And you really have to dig up those buried emotions and to heal yourself in order to forgive someone else. Forgiveness comes from the heart, and your willpower supports your heart, which means that you have to be able to not only set firm boundaries, but you have to feel safe. You have to be able to feel these emotions and feel like you're capable of protecting yourself before you're able to forgive that other person. Truly. Because you're essentially forgiving yourself for not being able to keep yourself safe in the past. And now you're capable of doing it. And, I've heard people say the people who love you so much are the people who reincarnate here and do all these terrible things to you. And, it made sense, but now it's like I really feel it. Yeah. So, for those that don't know, my mom died about 9 years ago, and she was a drug addict and shook up, my entire life. So I never knew what it was like to have a stable upbringing, and things like so many terrible things happened to us. And I hated her for so long. I didn't talk to her for, I think it was around, I was 20 that I had stopped talking to her, and before I knew it, she had lung cancer, and I still refused to talk to her. Then she was on hospice, still refused to talk to her, and it wasn't until she was holding on and then my family was like, if you don't talk to her, this is how can we support you anymore if you don't come and see your mom before she dies. And she died. I flew back down to the state that I grew up in, and I saw her. And even then, it was like I didn't feel the forgiveness in my heart. And it shocked me that she was just laying there, unconscious. And I was holding her hand. And yeah, I don't know. She died very shortly after. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but yeah, I felt like she was just holding on until she saw me to let go. And why am I mentioning this? Oh, I was just thinking about, this world, this dimension or whatever. It's just so dense and material, and like the other side isn't like this. Like, I just know that. Like, we come here to experience suffering. And the fact that someone like my mom, or whoever my mom is, God, right, me, could come down to this very dense reality just to cause so much pain in order to teach me a lesson about forgiveness and to teach me more about love. Like, she must have really loved me to come down here to do this. Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to point out. Anyway, so that's all I really have to say. Yeah, have a good day. Maybe I'll get out of bed. I'm super tired because we have a very bad bear in the neighborhood. So it's my first time dealing with bears, so figuring that out. See ya.